Hey there guys, Conceptual Concept 6.9 here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Finally able to get up a little bit into the mountains. It's starting to thaw out up here and figured I'd film a video at an old burn site. So this was a forest fire. I believe it was last year. This road was closed off for quite a bit of time. So the purpose of this video is, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Palmetto was doing insane deal on these Daniel Defense contract overrun uppers, and I decided to go ahead and invest in making a quality, if you will, SBR AR-15, because I do have a quality 14.5, but my SBR to AR-15 has been a carry handle. Those are really cool, but I wanted to have something a little more modern to play around with. So let's go over the build. Let's start tip to butt. Starting with the suppressor, I am running the Dead Air Sandman S on here. Now, the Sandman S is a good can, and I have both the S and the K. I will tell you that they are my number one shot cans. These are the ones I use the most, and it's just for convenience sake. They're decent enough cans. I don't feel the need to upgrade. However, there is better stuff out there. So if you're looking at buying your first can, Sandman S, it's an old design. There's a little better stuff on the market now, so I do a little research and jump on something other than this. That being said, I do like this can. Been running it for quite a while, and it's the one, this and the K are the ones that I run the most by far. So let's move back. This is that contract overrun upper. So it is an FSB model. It comes with a M-LOK rail, the 7-inch, on a carbine length gas system. So it is a little punchier than my 14.5, but it's a lighter gun and has got a lot more gas coming back. So that's kind of to be expected. That being said, it shoots really well. Now, would I rather have a full length handguard? Absolutely. But I'm not a huge AR-15 guy. I don't want to invest a bunch of money in redoing the handguard, and I definitely did not want to spend another $1,000+ on a full Daniel Defense Mark 18 upper or 11.5 or a Geisley Super Duty, just because I'm not a huge AR guy. So when this $600 upper came on, I was like, hell yeah, this is my ticket in. This is Aero Precision prices. God rest their soul. I believe they're probably going under. But we've got a Daniel Defense quality upper for Aero Precision prices. Now this does have an 11.5 cold hammer forged barrel. I've really been impressed with Daniel Defense's barrels. They are very accurate. I haven't grouped this for accuracy yet, but I'll insert a picture right over here of this guy during the zeroing process with green tip at 50 yards, put 3 rounds in the same hole. Now I understand 3-round groups are not indicative of actual accuracy. Now let's get into the light. I'm running a Holosun Raid. At first, I really liked it, and I still do like a lot of the features. The weaknesses for me come down to the hotspot versus the flood. The hotspot reminds me a lot of a Z-Bolt Blazer. It's just too focused and there's not enough flood. I found when I'm transitioning in the dark between targets, sometimes I'll miss the target, or I don't see the target even though it's only 10-20 yards away from the target I'm shooting at. I don't see it because there's not enough spill. So I'd like that hot spot, I really would, but I would like a little more spill. Then the activations of the buttons has been not great either. Brass Facts was spot on. There is a delay for momentary only of almost a second. So if you're just trying to flash your light really quick and maintain light discipline, you're gonna end up with a constant on. Now, you can double tap that, but it's something else you have to think about when you have a million other things to think about, right? I am a fan of momentary only, period, and this doesn't afford that. Now, the button is really well placed. I really like it. Not gonna knock it for that. I feel like they could have done better there. Then moving back Of course, we've got this Daniel Defense vert grip. Came with the upper. Again, this was a steal of a deal. And Daniel Defense bolt carrier group, charging handle, and rear sight all came with the upper as well. But let's move into the optic and the mount. Now I got an EOTech XPS3 just because I like the absolute co-witness, because then my magnifier, because I use absolute co-witness on everything, my magnifier sits behind it a little cleaner. And I did want it raised up, so absolute co-witness mount, but I wanted it raised up with a rail that I could put a magnifier behind. So this Leopold Mark AR riser is personally one of my favorites. I mean, it's like a better True Glow, if you will. It's long enough for me to accommodate my magnifier and run that behind this EOTech. Now that being said, this rear sight negates that. I'll probably remove it, but I was really stoked to have this on here anyways. So let's move on. I am running a Blue Force Gear sling here and just through the QD cups. I really don't mind that at all. The handguard actually has a steel reinforced QD cup. Really, really nice. Now let's get into the lower. I've made some changes on this since it was the carry handle gun. So I have added a Magpul bad lever, and it's not so much for releasing the bolt so much as clearing malfunctions. Now the ability to lock the bolt back while maintaining your firing grip is a really, really nice feature, especially for double feeds, which I actually got my first one when running this gun. And I believe it was the magazine. The magazine I'd been shooting suppressed quite a bit, and the follower was sticking and rounds were able to pop in and out because there was no tension keeping the rounds against the feed lip. So I think that was it, because when I pulled it out, the rounds were actually 2 or 3 down, but I got a double feed, and I found the process to getting that bolt locked back, while not incredibly difficult, it was kind of a pain in the keister. So added that. I do have a Geisley SSAE trigger on here. It's the flat face one. Really, really good. And lastly, I mean, in the big stuff, I am running an H2 buffer. Probably going to switch it to an H3 because the back pressure from this can is quite a bit, but probably switch it to an H3. And past that, I'm still running a standard safety. Never really bugged me. Now, lastly, star of the show. Initially, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it. The HRF Magwell. Initially, I wasn't super impressed with, because I was just playing with it, and it does not create a genuine seal on your, let's see if you can see that. It doesn't create a genuine like flush fit here. So if you try and insert from an angle, your feed lips are still gonna catch on that magwell. Now, is that a big deal? No, you should be good enough at least to get it straight. But where it really is coming handy is if I'm going in straight, but I'm not perfectly aligned with that magwell, it's gonna slide right in. So I really actually like this the more I played with it. Initially, I was like, could take it or leave it. But the more I've played with it, the more I've found it really, really improves my reload. It allows for a little bit of user error when inserting that magazine, so it just slides right in, you know? So I've really been impressed with that, really been enjoying that part. And past that, really it's just the grip and the stock. So the K2 grip, I'm running it on all my guns. I replaced the BCM I had on it, and I'm running the Magpul K2 stock or whatever, the super small K stock. Not a huge fan of this stock. I am gonna replace it with the B5 stop mod stock in the near future, just because I like that a little better. But overall, this gun shoots really, really well. I've got a quality upper. The only cheap part in this now are some of the internals, like the bolt hold open and the Aero Precision lower, God rest their souls. But it's a pretty well put together firearm. Now, if I were to run night vision, I'd have to make some changes to it, but overall, it's pretty well set. So that's the build I got. I've been really enjoying shooting this, playing around with it, delving up back into the AR-15 a little bit. Don't worry, I'm still shooting AKs as well, but I've been enjoying running this. So I'll catch you guys next time.